content. You know, we see on the news and TV so much negative stuff or so much stuff that doesn't reflect us. So I wanted to have a show with content that we can all relate to. My name is LaWanda DeShazer, and you are rocking with culture. Welcome everybody one more time to another episode of Think About It. Today we have a guest with us that is he's been a pillar in our community for so long. And I know y'all say, oh, that's just her brother, she's trying to amp him up, but no, he's more than just my brother. He's my best friend, but he has been so productive in the community, and this is the one and only Coach Pops.
Hey, right to everybody, thank you, Wanda, for having me on your show. You've been asking me to come on for a little while, and I've been a little hesitant because I'm kind of busy like you, but man, I'm a father, I'm an usher in my church, I'm the president of Wichita Bulldogs, along with head coach for 28 years, and I believe I'm a voice in the community, stressing academics over sports.
Right. So everybody, I know how much I love sports, but you know, education absolutely is important. And one of your taglines that you use is more than football.
Yes.
So kind of tell us what's more than football.
Well, more than football, it really started 28 years ago. When I first got into the game, they could come with me with D's, F's. I didn't care. All I wanted to do was win football games. You know, we could win on Saturdays, win that ship. That's all I cared about. But as I started progressing into football, a lot of those players start getting in trouble. They start going to jail. They start falling off by the wayside. And then, you know, epiphany came over me and made it more than football. Right. You know, without the education, without the family support, without the mentors, man, they lost. Right. So it became more than football. I mean, we still won championships.
I was going to say, we still won championships.
Don't get it twisted.
Right,
we still won
championships.
But winning championship is more than hosting that trophy on Sunday or Saturday. You know what I mean? So.
Right. And you know, because we do form those relationships with the kids over the years, you know, I know it probably had to kind of hurt that some kids you put your all into, and we know they're all great kids, right. And then we read about them in the paper,
right?
You know,
right, and that's the hard part. Wichita, Kansas, we produce so much talent, so much talent. So much talent has came through here, but so much talent has failed, and a lot of it is because we didn't put the academics, the education, the mentoring. We just wanted to go out here and, man, basically play football. Right. So yeah, so when I started losing players to penitentiary, to death, I said, oh man, I gotta think different, you know. So getting along with certain guys like William Polite and other guys in the community, we started putting education above the sports part, right. And it still goes together hand in hand.
Right. So for the last 3 years, we've been doing this program, the Middle School Challenge.
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit about that program.
The Middle School Challenge, it started basically 3 years ago. People down at the school board was like, we got money, we got opportunities, we need some kids. And they was like, where are the kids at? Where are they at? And William Polite happened to be at the meeting, and he was like, they at the football fields. You go out there on Saturdays, you're going to see the aunties, the cousins, the mamas, and the daddies. Everybody's going to come out. So he got with Terrell Davis and other USD 259 members, and they started the Middle School Challenge, where on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we would do math or reading before we went out to the football field. All right, we'd go out there. The first year, we probably had close to 90 kids. And so at the end of the program, they track the grades, they track the behavior, and they track their attendance. All right, and we believe we were trying to 0-0-0 or something like that.
Let's see, 0 referrals to the office.
Yes.
At least 95% attendance record, yeah. And a minimum of a B average.
B average, which we were stressing for a 3.00.
Right. Right.
All right, if we calculated, if you maintain a 3.0 all through junior high and high school, once you take your ACTs and your SATs, your score would be so much lower, and it'd be easier to get in college. So that's why we put that 3.0 in there. So throughout the junior year, throughout the middle school year, they track them.
Right.
They track the grades, their behaviors, and if any of those kids are failing any of those deals, they make a call, and we go to the school.
Right. And you know, we always say, there ain't nothing like a coach. When the kids know Coach Pops or Coach whoever is coming, it makes a big difference.
Yes.
We know the kids love their parents, but it's something about the coaches.
Yes, and it's amazing when you walk into the classroom, and most of the time they don't know. And then I walk in, or Dominique Webb, who coaches at South, he may come with me, and we'll walk into the classroom, or Earl Love, Jarvis Love, they'll walk in there, and they'll look, and their eyes will get real big, and next thing you know, they straighten up. And then you got their partner who they've been showing out with, man, who's that? Who's
Right.
that? And they like, man, leave me alone. Leave me alone, that's my coach, that's my coach.
Right,
So,
right.
you know, it makes a big difference, and then they straighten up. And just knowing that your coach is there to check on you, whether it's good behavior or bad behavior. Because we also we'll go and have lunch with the kids, whether they're having good behavior or bad behavior. We'll just show up with some pizza, check on their grades, talk to their teachers, just try to just let them know that we care about you. Try to be proactive, not reactive.
Just reactive. More than just football.
More than just
Even
football.
though we love football.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we love
Oh, yeah.
football. We get down with some football.
Oh, yeah.
Because like I tell everybody, we bleed black and gold.
Yes, that's
Right.
True.
And
True.
there are championship statues, you know, from I don't even know how long ago, but I do totally agree with you that when we start putting the emphasis on education, it just made our program that much better.
Yes, yes. And I believe it made the parents more accountable too. When you got a coach or a mentor that's calling the mom, calling the dad, and saying, we got this program, we doing this, we need you here, we need you there, it's just an extra layer of protection.
Right, and I think it works out better because, you know, we're always in meetings and people are like, well, the parents don't care, the parents aren't there. Yeah, the parents are there.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, they'll go to the football game, but they won't go to the parent-teacher conferences.
Right.
Well, maybe the parent-teacher conferences are boring. Maybe nobody wants to go and just hear bad things about their child.
Right.
But when you get them in an atmosphere that the kid is doing well, and then you can have a conversation, you know, well, let's add this to the program. Let's work on this. I think it's received a whole lot better than just going to hear Little Sally is horrible,
Right.
or Little Johnny needs to hit it. But we can, you know, like I say, find a common ground. It works miracles.
It does, and it changes the whole family structure. Then you see the little ones look up to the big ones, and then now they want to do it. Or they want to say, can I get a computer? Can I go to a program? Can I go to the Learning Center? It becomes exciting.
Right. So the Learning Center, tell us about the Learning Center.
Okay.
It was designed for older kids.
Right. The Learning Center was at Northeast Magnet, or Chester E. Lewis, and basically it was for the older kids who they have computers, they have tutors, they have paid tutors, they have volunteer tutors, and they'll go in there and they'll help the kids. But the word of mouth in the neighborhood is like, there's a place that we can go get them computers and learn. There's somebody there that's going to teach us math. There's somebody there that cares about what I'm doing at 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. So that Learning Center became not only for the middle school kids, it started being elementary kids. And right, and no, we opened it up for cheerleaders, but it started opening up, it was really for the football players, but cheerleaders started showing
Right.
up. You know, it became a safe net where they enjoyed, they ate pizza, they had tutors, they had mentors, and they loved it.
Right. And you know, back in our day, back in the day, you know, you could go to Lynette Wood or the Meffset, and that was your safe place.
Right.
But with hours changing, and sometimes it wouldn't be open, or it didn't offer something as basic as the computers, it actually became a safe place for the kids in the neighborhood,
Right.
in
And-
the community.
Right, and that goes back to taking away those programs where the Meffset was open 12 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and they had, you can go over to the other part and play bumper pool, ping pong, but it had that community, plus you had older people there that was telling you, stop, do this, it's time for this, go home. So you had people that was telling that, and really they want instruction and direction.
Right.
So when they took that away, man, it started being more chaotic in the neighborhood.
Right. And you know, a lot of people now are calling themselves activists, and you see all these mentorship programs that are getting deep funded, and they get the grants, they get all the money. And I think you found the secret to being a community activist without calling yourself an activist and without getting paid. You've actually been giving back to the community just as much as those funded programs.
Right. Well, speaking of that, we give a camp every year. With COVID, this year we couldn't give it, but for 22 straight years, we give a free camp, where the stress is not football, it's the guest speakers. We have guest speakers from Brandon Johnson, Anton Scales, Kenny Taylor, Weston Sharts, Cameron Wembley. I mean, we had a who's who, Lavita Williams, Aletha Faust. We bring in a lot of positive. We have, Ed Troy Franklin from Franklin's Barbershop, who just retired from the fire department after 30-something years, and man, he came out. We had the Q Dolls come out there, whoop, stomping around, doing their thing. But we tried to show the kids for 22 years more than football, even though we didn't call it that back then. But we brought in guys that would come in and talk about jobs, having black ownerships of jobs. Last year we have Philip Talbot, who just became a pastor of his own church, Philip's Big Phil's Bells bondsman. He came in and talked about owning a black business. You know, we need more of that, especially now with the movement that's going on. So we have people that come in there, and the kids would be so excited. And not only that, we brought in bouncy houses, we brought in popcorn machines, we brought in snow cone machines, and we made it a big, big event and just really celebrated the community. And then we did football for about an hour, and we fed everybody. And when I mean everybody, we mean everybody. It was like we bought 3 fishes, and Jesus blessed it, and man, we just fed the whole neighborhood, and it was going down.
Right. And that's what being involved.
This is a project in motion. Many projects, actually. Some are moving in bold new directions. Others are transforming history and tradition into all the vibrant possibilities embedded in the here and now. This is downtown Wichita, creative to its core with a commerce and culture that's never at rest. There's an energy in Wichita that is renewing our cityscape, driven by a master plan of development and nearly $1 billion of investment in the last decade. Structures and spaces are being transformed where talent can live, work, connect, and discover. By many measures, progress is evolving. In the past decade, residential units have doubled along with the number of downtown residents. More than 100 retailers are open for business, and each year, more than 500,000 attendees flock to downtown for conventions and events. There's a thriving cultural scene for nationally known performing arts to more than 50 museums and galleries. Local art has become a staple of downtown life, as Wichitans come out to appreciate artists during the monthly free art crawl. A filled-to-the-brim events calendar and an arena that entertains more than 300,000 patrons each year attracts a multi-state audience to the largest city in Kansas. Everywhere you look, contemporary living space is being thoughtfully integrated with a wide-open range of professional and retail commerce. And the spaces in between? A lot of thought is pouring into those areas too. There are parks that pop up in the most unexpected places, and an alley that's now a gallery alive with music and art. And everywhere, there's an abundant evidence of public sector investments designed to enhance and facilitate commerce and culture in the core. Downtown Wichita has become a brick-and-mortar laboratory for innovative reclamations. A parking garage becomes portals upon portals of mixed-use interiors. A former newspaper building becomes a collaborative corporate home for Cargill Protein Group, the world's largest privately owned company. And a historic railway station now traffics in eateries and offices. A river runs through downtown Wichita, and its banks are rich with opportunities for development of walkable shopping, dining, and luxury lodging, driven by the construction of a new ballpark and a AAA baseball team coming to town. More than 2,000 Wichitans call downtown home, surrounded by urban experiences and living in more than 30 properties as distinctive in style as the art amenities. Hospitality, too, is challenging the status quo. After arriving at our new Dwight D. Eisenhower National Airport, downtown visitors are welcomed at unique hotels that range from the historic to the boutique. Even iconic lodging brands find a truly unique expression, inspired by the creative characters of downtown Wichita. This is where you come to get projects done. Here in the core of Wichita, a community fully engaged in creating a distinctive, authentic urban core for this generation and beyond. Discover the opportunities today.
You ready already?
Yep.
We're back from the commercial break, and again, my guest today is Ulysses D. Shazer, or better known as Coach Pops.
Go Bulldogs.
Go Bulldogs.
Woo, woo.
And we're still talking about community and being an activist without using the title activist, and tying it all in with just more than just football.
Yes.
And that's where the program has been going. And I know you just kicked off another initiative,
Yes.
Athletes for Justice.
You're right. Athletes for Justice, with the black movement that's going on right now, there's a lot of athletes who have a voice. And now they feel, which back in the older days, we had a very few, like Muhammad Ali. He probably was one of the first. He came out, he black power, you know, I'm not going to go fight your war. Put me in jail. So he stood for something better, more than his sport. Guys like old school Boston Celtics, Bill Russell was an actor back in the days. And there was some in there, but now, as in this day and age, we got LeBron James, all right, who's leading the challenge. You had Colin Kaepernick, who took a knee, which becomes so symbolic right now,
Right.
that it won't never go away. So we believe the athletes have a voice in the community,
Absolutely.
and we wish more would speak up in community. And when Michael Jordan spoke up, everybody was like, whoa.
Oh, right, because Michael never spoke up.
Michael never spoke up, but
Right.
even he had enough. It's
Right.
like, enough
Right.
is enough. So when these guys start speaking up, that's when athletes start standing. They're role models. They're the big endorsements. They plastered all over the sports page, over the cameras. So when they speak, it holds volume.
Right.
So we started to deal athletes for justice with just area athletes that have played the game, that can offer more, whether they got hurt and stopped playing, or whether they took the wrong road. It was all city, all state, all everything, and they chose to sell drugs or whatever they chose to do.
Right.
And they got a story to tell. You know, they got a story to tell. I have a good friend by the name of Gage who plays semi-pro football. Tough guy, tattooed up, man. They were scared of him, but he found the Lord, and he went with me to Hadley, and he did. He mentored the kids, and he spoke about the game life and the partners, and you know what he could have done. He was a great wrestler. He was a great football player. He got 14, 15. He said nobody came to watch him play. Nobody came to watch him wrestle. So he chose another route. So now, being an athlete, he has a story to tell to the athlete.
To the athletes, right. And like I say, you know, you always hear about like the dumb blondes. People always try to say the dumb athletes.
Yes.
And athletes, when you think about it, they have to maintain a GPA to play sports.
Yes.
In high school and in college.
Yeah.
And so I think athletes get like a bad rap, like, oh, all they do is just play sports. Well, no, they got to do the book work too.
Yeah, they do.
And so that's why I'm glad to hear that we've started a program to help make sure the transition from Little League to high school
Right.
is a smooth transition. And just recently, there was another program that kicked off.
Yes. It's, I mean, like my friend Polite told me, don't be weary in well-doing. You know, man, help others almost more than you help yourself. If you do that, you're going to help yourself. You got to be in a position to help others.
Right.
And I say this recently, just as yesterday, through Southwestern College, Dr. Don, Terrell Davis, pastor at New Hope Church, William Polite representing US 259, all kicked off an initiative where they gave middle school kids in the 8th grade, and mainly my football team benefited from going to the 8th grade, They gave them free computers, brand new Dell computers, and the ones who didn't have Wi-Fi, they're providing hotspots for them as long as they're in high school. So it's just not, they're gonna give it to you once and it's over with. They're going in, not only did they went well and beyond the Call of Duty. I mean, they gave the kids t-shirts, board games to stimulate their minds, and then when they got to the end of the line, they gave them $25 gift certificates to, we're gonna go ahead and plug some sponsors, future sponsors, Arby's, Burger King, Subway, Freddy's Custard, Pizza Hut, Domino's, and each kid received that. And not only that, they're going to receive a $100 Walmart card in the mail, basically for doing well doing. But they're going to do a learning, or what is it? It's called
a 2-week virtual camp.
Right, 2-week virtual camp where they'll log in on those free computers that they got for 4 hours a day, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And they'll be on a big Zoom, and Southwestern College has provided the teachers, and there's area kids from Wichita that's going to teach that, going to Southwestern College on scholarships. There's one young lady who's going there. She's an all-city soccer player. She's balling out at Southwestern, and she's going to be one of the people that's talking. She wants to get back to Wichita, and through this presentation that we seen yesterday, I did not know that Southwestern, that's in Winfield, Kansas, provides more scholarships or graduate more minorities than any school in Kansas. And for our boys to have an opportunity to be part of this, right, is awesome.
Right, and just think, we got 8th graders that are going to have college professors for 2 weeks.
Yes.
College professors that are taking their time, mathematicians.
Oh my gosh.
Dawn is the vice president of Southwestern College,
yes,
and she was here to mentor and to talk to young people.
Yes, and not only did Dawn do a great job presentation, she went out and raised $50,000 to give these kids these computers, to give these kids this Wi-Fi, to give these kids these other benefits, to let them know we care about you, but they got to get on that Zoom and show out.
Right. And you know, I was in a meeting a few weeks ago, and somebody brought up the fact that it's time to take an audit. We have so many organizations that are mentors, but we need to see what are they producing.
Right.
Right. So many organizations that automatically get the checks.
Right.
But what are they producing? This program right here, we know for a fact it's producing.
Right.
Can you tell us just a little bit about the grades? The very first year, there was a study that from the summer bridge program to that first semester
right
in school.
That first year, after we completed the courses, or the 5-week training, what you call it, we tracked the kids, and the kids that had that summer program 2 weeks prior to the beginning of the school year made higher grades than they made the year before, which is letting us know that you do lose a lot of deals over the summer.
Right.
It's hard to retain all that information. But with this program here, it helped the guys, refresh their minds, and also it helped the other guys catch up. And the beautiful thing that I liked about it, seeing the kid that had it, that knew what he was doing, helping the guy that was struggling. And the guys that were struggling wasn't like, I don't know how it is in school. If you said something silly or you didn't know the answer, they wasn't laughing at you.
Right.
They was helping, and that made them other kids want to learn, want to be there.
Right.
And I think that just propelled them. So the grades had went up. I can't know the exact percentage, but it went up tremendously, right, and we tracked it that whole year.
Right. And so that just goes to show, you know, we always see the test scores that black kids are at the bottom of the scores. We do the worst, but I think the bridge programs and the other ones show that if you put the attention in a different way,
Yes.
our kids absolutely do better.
Right.
Our kids can learn and do learn and are smart.
Yes, and they want to learn.
And they want to
You see,
learn.
that is the key, when they want to learn, when they want to have fun. That's the beautiful thing. All right. So.
Okay, we're going to break for a commercial and then we'll be right back. All right, we're back from commercial, and as we get ready to close, this is my guest once again, Coach Pops, and we've had a really good discussion about, you know, mentoring and our young people and education, more than just football. But again, I want to stress, we love football.
We love football.
We love football.
Well, I can't wait to get those Tigers this year. You know what I mean?
The Cowboys too.
Ooh-wee.
Okay, so as we close, I just want to bring up an article that was in the paper recently, and it talked about the 50 most influential people in sports.
Yes.
And it brought up the one and only, the famous Mr. Theo Cribs.
Yes. Theo Cribs, that's my guy. And he was ranked number 14. The amazing thing about Coach Cribs, he hasn't coached in like 20 years. And his name is still survivors in the community. And in that article, if you read at the bottom of the article, it said, along with Ulysses Pops DeShazer. So, you know, some people said, why do you get your own number? And I thought about it, you know, if I could ride on Coach Cribs' shoulders, or something that he started and gave me a platform to be in the community, I told my football players, it's up to you guys to get on my shoulders.
Right.
And let's push it to the next level.
Right. All right. Well, thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you, sister.
Thank
I always say
you.
you my right hand, you on my right, you know what I mean?
He's awesome in the community, but yeah, he's my brother too.
Right.
And so again, just thank you for all the work that you've been doing in the community. It goes on and it has not gone unnoticed.
Right.
Maybe the grants haven't started coming this way yet, but when we start doing the audits and checking the box to see who's really putting in the work,
Right.
God's gonna do the blessing.
Right.
And
just like my pastor said, it's good to be connected, and it's good to be connected to God.
Right. So I just want to thank you all for tuning in one more time to Think About It, the show that always tries to give you something at the end of the day to think about.